Would you like to get better at speaking online? Well, here is a 3-step framework to allow you to do this every week. And it could enable you to do just like I'm doing now, taking the camera out in a peculiar location like this. It's the Swiss Alps, taking your phone out and then just talking to the camera with ease, simplicity, hopefully clarity, and some confidence. The first thing you need to do is create maybe 10 questions, open questions that allow you to talk off the cuff with no script, no agenda, and no preconceived ideas. And you could go to ChatGPT and say, I'd like to get better at my public speaking and impromptu chat. Please give me 10 open questions around travel, things to do, hobbies, things that I enjoy, things that give me inspiration to allow me to speak off the cuff and practice my public speaking and in-person presentation skills. And then you take those 10 questions and then take out your camera somewhere, prop it up, and off you go. Start speaking and recording for that 5-minute duration. So 10 questions, and ideally go for about 30 seconds per question before the next one comes up. And just speak freely to the camera, making sure you look down the camera lens and not at yourself so that you get natural at it, and see what comes up. That's step number 1. And then I'd like you to pause. I know the first temptation for you to do is to get out your camera and look back at the recording. But that's when you've got blind spots and you've probably got bias as to what you've said, what you've seen, and what you want to hear. So rest for 24 hours. And then after a day or so, I'd like you to take back that recording. And if you can, download the transcript of the recording so you can then see the words that are in place. And perhaps you then can print out or read through the transcript as the second step of number 2, and then look for repetition or filler words or commonly used words, and just see in your mind's eye what you read and what you feel. And then you could take that transcript and load it back into your favorite AI, whether it be Claude or ChatGPT, and ask it to analyze your impromptu-ness and look for ways that you could have been more sharp, more clear, more confident, or perhaps more brief with the words that you use. And also ask it to repeat the common words that you often use, or where you have fluff or information that was not necessary. That's the end of step number 2 by just reading through the transcript. Step number 3 is to then actually start to listen to the things that you actually said. So put the phone down and then just play back the audio, maybe through some headphones, and listen back to exactly what you said. We're looking for pace. We're looking for tonality. We're looking for emotion. When did you bring surprise, intrigue, disgust to the questions that you were actually given? That's step number 3. Now you have everything you need for your written and auditory aspect of your video. And the next step is to now silence the audio and play it back, just watching yourself. You're looking for the ways that your eyes are on the camera. Maybe you're looking for the way that you give expression. Where's your head? Are you bringing your hands into the screen? How is your overall visual posture if you're doing a stand-up video? That's tip number 3. And then send the video to somebody else that you can trust. Ask them to give you your feedback of exactly how well your video performed. And ask them, what did you see? What did you hear? And what did you feel from the video that I gave you? And that finishes the 4 steps of your self-analysis framework. And then from all of that feedback, you've probably now got a headline of what you think you could improve. Perhaps it's your volume, it's your pace. Perhaps it's the emotion that you've put into your video. Perhaps it's the word and language you're using. Or is it the filler words? And that forms the first part of your improvement step that you need to now put into place. And then, of course, you repeat that. You start thinking about how you could do that between now and maybe next week. And then repeat the habit again. back to the 4-step framework. Take another 10 questions and think, this week I'm going to work on my filler words. Or this week I'm going to work on my volume, or my tonality, or my emotion. And then take the 10 new questions and record the whole thing again. And then keep on improving on that until you think, okay, I've now mastered my volume. I've now mastered my surprise or intrigue or emotion. And I'm now going to work on my filler words. And over a period of 12 weeks, if you keep on working on the small steps every week, you'll be amazed at how quickly your speaking impromptu skills can improve. That's my simple 4-step framework to coaching yourself through speaking improvement. Obviously, a really good way is to do that with another or with a peer group where you can all improve together. But if you can't do that, then you can get a lot of benefit by working with yourself, working with some AI, and seeing the things that you see that you might miss, listen for the things that you are hearing, and how do you feel about your overall delivery? It's not always about the words that you say, but it is about how you make people feel.